Who do we got? We got ourselves Lucron down in the middle with Kazoo. Going to be going up first. On teamer, we got ourselves Explicit, we got ourselves Seavark, we got ourselves Magnesium, and we got ourselves Volts. Hug in the corner, we got Demonic on Team Blue with Gladiator. I wonder if he's a Gladiator. Karma Port and Vextic in the back. Lucron getting opened up by a full Metamorphosis. Actually, it might have been just an I-Beam. Oh, that's going to be Blur early on for Kazoo. For Lucron, this is going to be quite a tough one. Demon Hunters are tough for Warlocks and casters in general. Trinket for Lucron. He doesn't have the mobility that Kazoo does. He's jumping around the whole place. Is he going to get a stun onto Kazoo? Doesn't Trinket it. He does Trinket it into a Horror Effect. The Demonic Tyrant is still clapping him out. Cyclotronic, while Darkness is up, actually has a super low. Cyclotronic of his own. Deflects it out afterwards. Metamorphosis on top of Kazoo. Does he have a second stun for a second pet or anything? No, it's going to be Fear. And Lucron is going to get more pets up and running while Kazoo is basically recovering full on health. He's going to have more pets to cleave. It's going to be a Crucible for his self-heal right now. Lucron is going to wall his damage by getting hit with a stun as the wall comes out. Cyclotronic Blast is going to hit him, gets an interrupt though onto that Cyclotronic with another Fear onto Kazoo, double Fear, and it's going to get a hand to go down. Kazoo is doing pretty good right now, recovering quite well, doing quite a lot of healing while Demonic Form is up, has a lot of leech under. Trinket is going to give him a big old proc for a heal. Huge heal just now, and Lucron is going to pour it all the way to the other side. Lucron, I think at this point, has to survive. If he can survive long enough versus Kazoo, he might stand a chance. He needs to get pets up and running. He got to get the second demon up and running. Maybe get some sort of CC chain onto Kazoo. All he can do is survive right now. He has to survive. If he doesn't survive, that's it. Reflect coming up. Kazoo cannot. That's actually a good move for Warlocks. If you're playing a Warlock and get a Reflect up and running, before you get a cast for Kazoo, Kazoo's Interrupt is actually a magical spell. And with the Reflect, it actually does nothing. It nullifies itself. So basically, it's like a protection for cast if you need to get like a Fear or a cast that needs to be happening in order to get big damage. Kazoo getting hit with a stun, maybe a Horror Effect right afterwards. Does Lucron have it? Is going to try to get more pets up and running while the Tyrant is out there clapping him up. Doesn't have Darkness, doesn't have Blur. He's actually still maintaining to get himself a little bit of healing horror coming out, and that Tyrant is still doing some damage to Kazoo. He's not getting bailing out. He does get himself a Blur for a quick second. Doesn't drop Lucron on the cast. Looks like it was a Demonic cast or something. Fear coming out onto Kazoo after he gets interrupted onto that I-Beam with a Drain Life to follow for Lucron into getting more pets up and running. More imps to do quite a bit of damage because he's going to maintain using the Crucible for a self-heal, playing very defensively, not getting the pressure he needs onto Lucron. Lucron trinkets out of the stun, trying to get another Fear onto Kazoo. He trinkets out of it, or he stuns it. And he's going to, wow, look at Kazoo. He just got himself so healed up and ready to go. Look at it. He barely did anything and is full on health. Dude, Demon Hunters, every time they get Demonic Form up and running, that leech is just insane. And Lucron is forced to go for a setup again. He used to get a trinket out of Kazoo. If he can get a trinket out of Kazoo while he's popping in full cooldowns, full pets, he might have a chance. Horror Effect of Kazoo. He trinkets out of it. That actually might be a chance here. Trinket out of it, but a stun into Lucron. Lucron does not have a wall up and running yet, but if he can get a bunch of pets up and running, does go for a port because he's going to chase after him right after this. If Lucron can somehow get all the pets up and running, he might stand a chance here. Does get a Reflect up and rolling into a Fear onto Kazoo. Trying to get Gul'dan open up. That's going to be this extra pet coming out with a Tyrant. Could go for a full setup. Second stun, maybe Cyclotronic to follow. That's a lot of damage right now. The pets are doing so much damage. Doesn't interrupt him onto an I-Beam right after. Demonic Tyrant is doing so much work. And Lucron actually one-shot this Demon Hunter after all that work, all that effort, all that trying, and finally does get it. And Seavark is there to sizzle out that victory immediately. Horror Effect on Seavark does give Lucron a little bit of health recovery. And all he can really do right now is try to see if he can pummel Pyroblast into Lucron back to back. Oh my god, dude. That was so close. Lucron had to wait until the right moment. He stayed in there as best as he could until the end. Oh, that's going to be a stun as Seavark is trying to get himself. Trying to get some CC onto Lucron with a Ring of Frost. Trying to stop him in place. Trying to freeze him for a moment. Not going to happen though. Not gonna happen. Lucron gets a stun by the pet. Wall is up and running. Does land a Fear onto Seavark. Drain Life is doing kind of decent healing actually still. We're not at high dampening. Not even at any dampening yet. She's doing quite fine. Seavark does get himself quite a bit of heals though. A Crucible doing work. Does get a Root onto Lucron. Seavark is just trying to see if he can get a one-shot onto Lucron right now. into Hannah Gul'dan. Is looking needs to get his pets back up and running. He's still playing the caster game as best as possible. Breath into Ring of Frost. Does not have an answer. His pet is frozen. Actually, no answer for this. Trinket Reflect. Does it go back to Seavark? I think it does. Does it? It's hard to tell. Lucron, though, summoning up the Tyrant. Second stone onto Seavark. He has all those pets attacking him. Trying to get away from the Tyrant immediately. Trying to get Fire Blast onto Lucron. He's not letting the Tyrant do any work to the guy. That's going to be quite a cooldown out of Lucron, but it's not going to get almost any value. The only value it gets is maybe his pet is getting some stronger auto attacks and Seavark, but that's about it. But that's all he's got is ring around the rosy with the guy. Breath misses. That might be opportunity for Lucron right now. Trying to get a fear. Board away. Get himself a not a Warlock Hellstone, but it gets himself more health from a Trinket. Horror effect onto Seavark. Gets himself a Crucible heal right after. And he's going to throw more puppy dogs at Seavark. Trying to see if he can juke out an interrupt from the guy. Does get that fear off with a drain life. That health increase is not going to last longer. He needs to get himself heals up. Cyclotronic onto Seavark from afar. He does get himself a Temporal rolling, and Lucron's health trinket does dissipate, but he's left with a little bit of health. Might be enough, might not be enough. Does the reflect up and running, and Seavark is going to go try to steal that reflect buff, or at least remove it. Stun onto Seavark. Lucron could go for a setup here. Could go for a second stun, maybe. Does have a second stun. And he's just trying to keep Seavark away. Breath comes out, though, and he does get hit in the breath. Demoniac doesn't even give him a chance. Opens up with a garrote as soon as Lucron is dead. Gloves are off. Shadow Step or interrupt onto the Polymorph. That's going to be an Ice Block for Seavark as Cauterize comes out. Oh my goodness. These guys are not wasting any time. And that is allowed in the 5v5s. I do appreciate when you guys give yourself Honor Duel, but you guys can play this however you want to. Think of it as classic WoW, you know what I mean? If you're the kind of guy that doesn't give anybody Honor Duels, don't expect anybody to give you any Honor Duels, you know what I mean? Everybody decides how honorable they want to be in these. I like that. Polymorph onto Demoniac. Great Pyro. Is he going to trinket it? He could. No, he's not going to do it. He's just going to set it Nova right after. He's going to get a Ring of Frost. Doesn't have... Oh, has to go for a cloak there. Ring of Frost does still come out. But it's still going to get some damage on the Seavark. Polymorph trying to come out yet again. Does land it. Trinket maybe? Meteor instead. Seavark might go for a full combustion right now. Is gonna go for combustion. Breath of Demoniac. Demoniac might want to pop CDs here early. Does get interrupted on the Seavark on the fire, and that's exactly what he needed. Needed to stop him from doing all that fire damage for just a moment, and he's gonna go for a heal. Who is up next on Team Red? I think they're still trying to figure out who's next. Looks like Magnesium on fire right now, actually. Is it explicit? Volts? Oh, maybe it's Volts. Looks like it is Volts though. Look at our Volts. Volts is AFK. Alright, Volts, you got this one, dude. Demonic now knows. Oh, he knows Demonic is there. Demonic also, I like your little pet, by the way. It's a little octopus with an eye patch. That's kind of cute. Not gonna lie, that's kind of cute. Volts getting hit with a kidney shot by Demonic in the opener. He's gonna try to back up Volts. Playing against an Assassination Rogue might be a good setup here. 8 minutes since the dampening isn't super high. But Demonic is just poking out, getting the dot damage to roll up on Volts. That's quite a lot of dot damage. He's almost trying to play like a Feral. Absorb comes out for Volts, but that Absorb's actually getting slowly but surely shredded. Trying to see if he can maybe get himself an angle around Demoniac. Blinking around. He knows this map like the back of his hand. That's going to be a Temporal to cover himself a little bit early. Kidney Shot does come out without the Temporal being up, however. So Demonic is a perfect opportunity for him to get the dots up and running, and is going to do that Crucible play. He's trying to play a Feral Druid right now. He's trying to load up dots into Volts and try to wait him out a little bit while keeping a concoction rolling. Volts might just have to get super offensive blind onto Volts. Demonic might be able to go for a play here. Maybe oh, what? Oh, okay, weird. He didn't go for a full re-stealth. I guess maybe he had a dot, but he went for a throw into a kidney, into Advantage. Does get hit with that arcane damage. Probably has a dot roll on him. He does. So Volts is doing just fine for now. He's going to blink again around Demoniac. He needs to get dots up and running. It looks like he won't be able to do anything until the kidney is up and running. And Volts is just shredded through the guy. Cloaker Shot is coming out with a Vendetta. Volts is just going to Temporal this as best as he can. Perfect Temporal on a Kidney Shot. 26% dampening though. He's going to reduce some of that healing the Temporal does give. But that's quite a lot of damage, man. That's quite a lot of damage out of Demoniac. Safe to Trinket proccing for him right now. Just to survive throughout Arcane Missiles as Volts try to steal every buff he can from him. Does steal his Safe to Trinket, however, though. His own Safe to Trinket proccing, though. As Demoniac is trying to pressure him right after this into another kidney. Does not Trinket this. Demoniac is just trying to load him up full of dots. Volts does get to take him out, and Karma is up next. He's going to get a touch of death onto Volts. Might be an Ice Block immediately for Volts, unless he can find himself an Invis. Does go for Invis for a second. Ice Block comes in. As he realized that Invis is not going to keep him alive. I think that might have actually been a Maledict out of Karma. So for Volts, it's going to be at least he survived the big cooldowns out of Karma, but with a Trinket as the only defense he's got, All he can do is try to control Karma. That's all he has a chance to do, man. Just control Karma as best he can. Karma coming out for Karma. He was just like, you know what? I know I'm riding out of mobility, but I'm just gonna hit him with a Karma and hope that does something. And Volts is he's just running. He's just running. He's he makes it look too easy. That's how I'm laughing. He makes Arcane Mage look way too easy, man. I cannot do that on my mage. I gotta learn. I gotta check out the shoe sometime. See how you do it. He's gonna get more slows than the Karma. Does get hit on an in-cap. Could I be a leg sweep? No, Fist of Fury, so he's going to be able to get out of it. I like how Karma went over there. He's like, Fist of Fury, and he's just standing still, hoping that Volts is going to be there in front of the Fist of Fury. But he's like, where'd he go? It took him a second. He's like, processing. Oh, gotta get the other way, get out of there. Wall coming out for Karma. Wall as well as Dampen Harm, trying to reduce all the damage you can take, while also trying to get some counter pressure onto Volts. But looks like he has plenty of health to work with. Fist of Fury out flying is going to blink away from those with the Temporal, and that's going to be slowed down into Karma as he's trying to roll out of them. More Arcane Missiles around the corner. Karma, does he have an answer for it? Still continues to line inside. He still cannot stop trying to line inside. He's still trying to run away from the mage, realize that the mage is actually right behind him, and down he goes. And Volts is going to see yet another Hunter coming at him. Last time we saw a Hunter, that was a pretty big one-shot. Gonna be a trick out of Volts off of that stun as Gladiator goes for his setup. Trying to get himself some big moves rolling. Arcane Missiles coming out. Trying to see if he can avoid the intro by the Hunter. Does get hit on Arcane. Is going to use Crucible of Flame to heal himself. Gladiator has... What a trinket for this guy. Oh, that's unlucky. Volts just trying to blink around Gladiator, trying to Arcane Blast him to death. Is that exactly what he's doing? Is that what he did to the last Hunter? Just Arcane Blasting him over and over, spamming Arcane Blast? Is it just blinking around the guy? That might have been the trick. It's going to be invincible for Volts. Does he get the... Oh, he still has a dot on him or something. Rolling Temporal coming in for Volts right now as he's trying to see if he can get away from Gladiator, trying to get away from the pet. Nova comes out. Might be able to get himself some kind of healing. 42% damp, but he still has plenty of opportunity to get himself a little bit of heals. Gladiator does have even more cooldowns rolling. He got his pets all empowered, beefed up, and ready to go. Second pet up and running. And he does have that trinket. Used to get into melee range to get that arcane damage rolling onto Volts. Such a weird trinket, but it's going to be blink away from Volts. Does get himself a little bit of arcane missiles from a distance. Trying to shred through Gladiator a little bit. Polymorph coming out onto one of the pets. I don't know if that was the right pet, however. That second pet is... Does he run two pets? Is that what it is? Is that just two pet system that he rolls? It looks like it is. Because that pet did just use Stomp. That should be his main pet's ability, but it looks like he might be on both. Stun onto Volts. Actually, that could be the end to Volts right now. No defenses left at all. Does he get to come out of this alive? No! As Temporal comes out at the end, Gladiator does get a kill command in there in the end. Magnesium missing that Meteor, but Pyroblast is still doing work. Gladiator's out of options here. Does get himself a heal, but a Pyro finishes him off. Vextuck is up next. Hodge onto Magnesium, but he's so far away from the guy. Does have him in a Nova. Doesn't even need to worry about it. Got a Freedom coming in for Vextuck with wings. Magnesium popping in the Temporal is going to be reduced. But that's going to be a Maledict for Vextuck, though. Trinket's out of the poly immediately. Wants to keep pressuring with a Maledict onto Magnesium. That's going to be yet another polymorph. Unless he goes for a bubble, I don't think he is going to. It's going to be Fire Mage. I was going to say Arcane Mage, but it's actually Fire, so he's not going to go for as much of a reset playstyle here. Is going to try to see if he can just get away from Vextuck. Hand of Freedom is going to keep him moving, though, however. Shield of Vengeance to cover him. I don't know how Magnesium can turn this around, though. It does have Ice Block, but his health is dropping, dipping lower and lower. Might just wait until the Cauterize procs, and it just might here. Does go for a breath a little bit early. I think he missed an ability. He probably pressed the wrong spell just now. And he probably should have waited out the full Cauterize while in the Ice Block to gain that health. Does he land Invis? Basically, he did, almost. I think Vexley did get a Judgment at the end. Doesn't have a Trinket. Does have a Bubble if he needs to. Repoly's coming in for Magnesium, but he's still super slowed out. He needs to have a setup. I don't know if he's going to get that Greater Pyro. That's going to be a Breath, but that's about all he's got. He's still on a run right now. That's going to be Pony up for Vextuck. Magnesium not sitting that stun long at all. Human Racial coming out clutch there. And is still just on the run, man. He's a criminal on the run. Vextuck is trying to bring him to justice, getting those judgments in there, trying to judge him from a distance. He is the judge, jury, and the executioner. He's also the full pew of people. Just watching it. He is the man in his own courthouse. He's the full courthouse. And he does clap out Magnesium before a Meteor even connects. Explicit is the last man left. Is he playing an Assassination this time? Or is he still at sub? Oh, he is that sub. Oh, went for a Nightblade. That's going to be Vextuck with a Bob. Doesn't want to go lower in health. 58% dampening. Any kind of health is going to be a resource more important than Holy Power or Energy for both of these two now. Just looking to maybe catch himself a reset. Can he get it? Is Vextuck hitting him? It does look like he's tagging him. He was tagging him with a Katiku too. It looks like it might be Katiku. Is it? Can't tell if it's a bleed or just getting an auto attack. Either way, cheap shot coming out into Vextech, get a Nightblade up and running for Explicit. Might be able to get himself some damage in there. It's going to be another cheap shot onto Vextech. It's going to get him sent a Crucible. Send him a Crucible. Ooh, Shadow Step. I like that. I like that move. I like when you do it again. Do it again. I know you probably shouldn't be doing it again, but do it again. Do it again. That's so cool. I always love that. You're just running around the box, running on a pillar, bah! And then behind the pillar again. Next time we poke out, there's gonna be Hodge for sure. Blind, Vextech, Chicken, Kidney Shot to follow. Could go for a bubble. Does he go for a bubble? Oh, big damage out of Explicit out of nowhere. Huge burst coming out of him. Clock Shot is coming out, breaking through a Shield of Vengeance very quickly. Lots of pressure on the Vextech. He was not expecting any of that. Gonna go for that regenerating. And Explicit is gonna go for Re-Stealth. Which one of these two is winning now? And now Vextech is super low in health. No defenses left. Explicit, if he plays it perfectly with a trinket, there's no way he loses. Vextech needs to go hyper offensive in order to win this. Flashlights are coming out, but that's still gets a flashlight, but that's gonna be a sap. Oh, I was expecting Shadow Strike, not interrupt maybe? Shadow Strike interrupt, maybe? No, he goes behind the pillar. He knows the rogue is out here in the open. Oh, Kidney instead. I was thinking Shadow Strike interrupt. Does get himself a Nightblade. Shadow Strikes are coming out back to back. Big inventory damage. Cheap Shot to follow right after. Into a Crucible. Hodge to follow. Does he chicken? He does chicken as soon as he wings. Vextech whiffs that Wake of Ashes and 69 dampening. Nice. Like third time 69 dampening. Are you kidding me? You boys are making these will last forever, huh? Explicit just likes being in the sunlight. He likes being in the limelight, doesn't he? Flashlight's coming out for Vextech, however, though. Well, he's got it. That's going to be Kidney Shot by Explicit. Does have a Mally roll on him, but I think Vextech got no chance here at all, and down he goes. Down he goes. Very well played, boys. Very well played, everybody. Very well played. I like that. I like that. Alrighty. It is 7:06. It is 7:06. Did you get to find Folds though? Aw, no.